So I've played a lot of TF2 over the years, and there is a consistent topic debated in the TF2 community of whether Sniper is OP. Personally, I'm of the opinion that he's not necessarily overpowered, but he is not fun to play against. And I would argue his biggest culprit there is his fully charged body shot mechanic. So let's talk about it. Now, let me just start by saying I actually don't mind that Sniper can one-shot headshot people from any range. He's a pick class, and like most pick classes in most games, he needs a way to be able to, pick enemy players, and his method is, of course, the headshot. I don't have an issue with that. The one I have an issue with is actually more his ability to fully charge body shot people. I personally feel like that kind of eliminates the need to land his required skill shot in order to kill classes, and I've asked a few servers about their opinions on it. Some of them agree with me on this, some of them say like, oh, that would increase the skill floor too much, skill floor being like it would be too hard for new players to play the class, which, I kind of see, but honestly, I don't feel like Sniper should be the kind of class that should be good for new players to pick up, because if a new player picks up and starts playing a ton of Sniper, they aren't going to learn a lot of the positioning and other factors that you learn with the other classes in order to play TF2 well. That's why you get a lot of Sniper mains who've been playing 1,000 hours of TF2 and their whole gameplay loop is to stand on the battlements of 2 fort and try to snipe other snipers, because they've just not developed the other skills to play the other classes to any degree. That aside, so the thing about body shotting that makes it annoying to play against is if you think about the classes that Sniper needs to deal with, the priority is other snipers, then the medic, and then the engineer. And all three of those classes can be one-shot body shot from a fully charged body shot, which is kind of crazy that his main targets are all things that you get rewarded for just standing there and charging up a body shot, I would argue that his body shot mechanic should be changed to cap out at 120 damage. And that would, of course, require, some people would be like, oh, well, that's too little damage. But if you think about it, that would put engineers and other snipers at basically 5 HP, which is essentially nothing. You could breathe on them at that point and they die. And then a medic that would put him at about 30 HP, which is not a whole lot for a medic, especially when you're in a lobby with people actually gunning for you. That's going to get you killed very quickly. So what would that mean for Sniper as a whole if he could only do 120? Well, of course, the biggest thing then is you would be forced to go for headshots, and if you fail and land a body shot, you're then having to either swap to your secondary, if it's something like an SMG, to finish them off, or go for a no-scope body shot. The one downside of this I could see is it does make overheal significantly stronger. Then if you think about it, overhealing targets is still really strong against Sniper's body shot mechanic anyways. All of those targets are still going to survive a fully charged body shot, regardless of if we change the body shot mechanic or not. It doesn't really change anything in that respect, it just means that the follow-up damage has to be higher. The other thing as well is people would complain in those lobbies where I asked people, they would say oh, well, there's several weapons that Sniper has that kind of rely on that one-shot body shot mechanic, which I agree with. So let's go over the three of them. The first is the Machina, of course, which is whole shtick is you charge it up to fully charge and you get more damage and penetrate targets, and of course that is optimal for body shotting people. I would argue that it would need to be changed probably to something like what I actually initially thought its mechanic was when I first started playing TF2, which is that you just get penetration on your shots. That's it. At any charge, really. So you're maxed out at 120, but now you can quick scope people with headshots, which would actually, I would argue, be significantly more fun and rewarding to do to people. I've never thought of fully charged collab body shots. Like, they can be fun to do, but I don't know how satisfying they are in comparison to doing something like that, is just because the skill requirement is higher, right? The other one is then the Sydney Sleeper. I think you could probably move it to be more support focused, with having the splash area of its Girardi effect increased, and like probably make it so that, like, fix the ability to put out allied players, that sort of thing. There are things you could do with the Sydney Sleeper to make it better. It would probably suffer the most from this. The Huntsman is another one, but I don't know anyone who's arguing the Huntsman is underpowered by any sense. And honestly, making it so he can't one-tap people with a fully charged Huntsman arrow would probably make the Huntsman significantly more fun to play against. I actually think that snipers would also benefit from this. If you are the type of sniper who's good enough to not rely on fully charged body shots, if you think about it, now other players can't just swap to a sniper and sit somewhere out of your sight and fully charged body shot you to end your streak. They actually have to headshot you in order to reliably kill you, you know? So there's things like that would make it more fun. It would also make the interactions between medic more fun, because the problem with playing a medic is if you're the only medic and you can't get overhealed, you basically have to treat every sight line like there's a sniper standing there about to body shot you. And good snipers will absolutely do that and make it so that you basically can't play the game, which is very not fun. It would be significantly more fun if they actually had to go for the headshot, and they can. Like, good snipers can, but good snipers also know that it's just less risky, and dealing with the medic is so much more valuable than trying to go for a fancy headshot. So anyways, that's my main idea for how to make Sniper more fun to play against. Just reduce those lower skill options he has to deal with enemies. Anyways, what do you think about this? Do you think that 120 is too low? Do you think that Sniper needs more body shot damage? I don't think anyone even thinks that, actually. Let me know in the comments below. And have a good one.